Hey guys, it could be early morning for some of you, but I've been up for 6 hours. No, I haven't, but I do find, like everybody else, I suppose, as you get older, you tend to get up earlier. But okay, so lots of questions on what is you have 3 programs for kids and what? So here's the thought process. You train as a team during the season, but out of season, you fix what's wrong or what your weakest links are with you so that you can then get back into the season with your team. So out of season is for you. During the season is for the team. For the most part. So 90% team, 10% you. That's what the coach is at least focusing on, right? You should also, it's way more important for you to understand, let's say in soccer you're playing, left forward, right? It's much more important to understand how to play that role than to juggle to 4,000. You would do a better job understanding, put your rear to the line, open your hips, touch, how to play forward, play back to your wing back to move forward. All that stuff. So when you want to work on you, it's the off season, and summer is pretty much the off season for everything. Nowadays, I don't know. Things go year long. Both 2 of my kids are doing soccer over the summer through a summer league. So maybe it's never over, though it's mostly just for fun. So anyway, the programs that we have for you guys. So I've got it on my screen over here so I don't forget kind of what I want to say. But we've been doing summer strength for 7-ish years. And what summer strength is simply this. My daughter, Olivia, was playing, I think, U13 or U14 soccer. And then they did an age change so that instead of creating this season based on your August, how old you are in August, so basically it followed the school year if you were in the right school year, if you weren't moved forward or held back or something. So all 7th graders were on the same team, unless you were aged differently. Then they changed it to follow the European standard, which is whatever your birthday is for that year. So it makes a little bit more sense, but it does mess up the whole grade thing. So on my team, I got 6th graders and 7th graders, which only really hurts them when they get into U15. So whatever. Anyway, so Olivia was going to be a U13 moving up to U15. And we're like, wow, you're already kind of small. This, probably isn't even going to go well. So she moved from basically being an A player to a B player because she was just sized differently. Now instead of being one of the oldest, she's one of the youngest. So I said, what can I do for you? What's your biggest problem? Your biggest problem is you're small and you're not really strong. So let's fix that. I own a gym. Let me write something for you. So we looked at CrossFit Kids. We looked at all these other things. And I'm like, I just don't like it. So we landed on Ripeto's starting strength. It's not rocket science. It's physical science, I guess. But it's how to grow your body. And it's simply lift and eat. But that part's not in it, right? So basically what we do with summer strength, which we've been doing for 7 years, and you can watch videos from my kids doing them through the years, and videos of the kids in class, we teach them, first and foremost, is proper form. So they have 2 months with us. When they're done, they can continue to lift on their own because they know the form, and that's great. So we want to give them the tools to continue. Will they get stronger in those 2 months? Yes. Will their muscles bulge in those 2 months? No. They will get stronger. If they're a soccer player, then yeah, you'll see it in their legs. If they're doing other sports, then you'll probably see some other areas, but soccer kids, obviously pretty easy. They're running a lot, right? But they're going to increase their form and ability. So that'll translate into the field. So when Olivia went back to her fall season with the kids, parents are like, wow, what did you do to Olivia? And of course, back then, I was totally selfish. I wouldn't tell anyone. I was like, I don't know. She's just got better somehow. I don't know. And it was because we spent the summer lifting, and she could push kids off. She could nail the ball. It was fantastic. So we did some iterations of that program. We've refined it, I guess I should say. So we used to do about an hour and a half and try to do 3 lifts. And the kids just, the attention span and their, just whatever it was too much. So we've moved it back to, it's an hour class, which everyone kind of expects. And we do 2 lifts unless you've been there before and you can move a little faster. And we really harp on safety, form, and function, right? Because if they're doing stupid stuff, they're going to hurt themselves, and we want them to be able to do this afterwards. So the kids that have been there for years, we actually, in our system Modify, track their stats so they can see where they are and where they're lifting and how they've changed from year to year. It's great. It's a lot of fun to see them grow. All right, so that's summer strength. We got that for everybody. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tuesday and Thursday, we do whatever the CrossFit workout is, modify it a little bit to make sure the kids can do it. And really, the idea there is, it is athleticism. CrossFit is made for athletes. It's, if you want to be athletic, do CrossFit in the off season. So the difference though is kids tend to cheat. So they look at, Tina's looking at Tiffany and she's like, oh, she's ahead of me. I'm just going to skip ahead. So we try to help them learn moral code, I don't know, honesty, whatever it is, so that they don't cheat and they learn to actually do the movements properly. So the next thing is, there is a program that I created selfishly, the 2008 Soccer Strength and Power. Weirdly, it's for the 2008 girls that are on my soccer team and Coach Rob's and Coach Robert's if they want to join. So the select girls, so the kids that are playing in our club in the select division, which would be called Athena or something through Georgia Soccer, or I guess you can be in another program. We're doing summer strength for them. So, well, what's the difference? Well, the difference to you, anybody watching this, is if you've got a team, so like Coach Jamie, her kid plays baseball, and she's like, hey, we're talking about doing the same thing for my kids. I'm like, perfect. We'll add a time slot, get them in there, and then we'll change it a little bit based on what they need. So if it's baseball and they're throwing a lot, we want a lot of shoulder mobility, and we want to help their shoulders live. What are the biggest problems that a catcher sees? Well, it's in my knees. Well, let's work on that. Let's not just go, well, you're a catcher, your knees are going to suck when you're 50. Right? Let's fix that. Let's help them grow. Give them some strength. Help them with some proper form. Give them foam rollers. Give them a Theragun, whatever, right? So we want to help them in the areas that make sense in their sport. So for soccer, since I know that the most, well, actually I know a lot of sports. I coached pole vaulting, fencing, basketball. Once you learn to coach, you can see the spot the problem. It's really not that tough. You just have to be able to help the team grow the individual, right? So for soccer, we will do the similar lifts on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, we'll change it a little bit so that they will, we're going to work on run form, because obviously running and sprinting is super important. But most of the kids run differently, so we're going to fix that. There's also a lot of issues with MCL, ACL, meniscus, and other stuff. So we're going to show them some things to do forever to keep their knees from getting jacked, right? And a lot of it is just get stronger, right? So, but we're going to show them that. We're also going to do some stuff with juggling, track some juggling, make that fun, because juggling is not fun, but you can read, where's my book? I don't see it up there. I think it is a good, I think it's grit. And they're talking about the 10,000 hours or something that you have to do to put in, go from good to great. Maybe it's good to great, that book, I don't know. But the quote that I thought was awesome is, those that are excellent master the mundane. So the mundane is boring. Go juggle. Oh my gosh, really? Yeah. Larry Bird, do you think he was like, man, shooting, I shoot so much, I'm not going to shoot anymore. Master the mundane. He shoots like he did, I don't know, he probably still does, all the time. So you have to master the mundane. Juggling is mundane, but it makes you awesome. So that'll be in there. So there'll be some tweaks to what we do. So every workout will start with a buy-in and a cash out of 400-meter run, so that they're all running. Some days on the Tuesday, Thursdays, we'll work specifically just on sprinting, so we can catch that form and make sure they go back to their sport with, wow, look at me, I am super fast now because of my technique. Technique, crazy, drives a lot of stuff. So then the next one is Swole 60. Well, how is that different than summer strength? Totally different. If you are interested in playing a sport and you want to become more athletic for that sport, Swole 60 is not for you. This is specifically, again, looking at someone like a Levi or even my other son, Evan. I am a tall, skinny, small, or short, small, whatever, boy, and you can be a girl too, but it's typically the boys that are like, oh dang, I'd like to get bigger. So it could be sports driven. So in Levi's case, he's playing high school soccer and he's a freshman that's only 5'5" and 105 pounds. He can get there are seniors out there that have full growth and you're like, wow, you are a large 18-year-old. That's very scary. And so he's like, I think I can juggle for 15 minutes straight. I don't think skill is my problem. I think my problem is I'm just small. What do I do? Well, we need to lift and eat and rest and lift and eat and rest. It's a totally different program. Yeah, there is still lifting, but the focus is not so much specifically skill and form and longevity to lift later on, which was part of it, but it's we will get some gains and you will be bigger by the end of this, but you must eat and you don't do other stuff. So Levi will be doing summer soccer, so we'll just tell him to take it easy, so his gains will be mitigated a bit because he'll be doing other stuff. But Evan, on the other hand, doesn't have any sports lined up. He is almost 6 feet, and I think he weighs 150, and 6 foot, whatever. He's almost 6 feet tall. I think I said that wrong. And but he's got the same problem. He's got a longer frame, but not as much material on him. So I'm only 5'8", and I'm 165. So I've got him beat, and he wants to be bigger, right? Nobody has ever accused me of being big or taking steroids, but I'm not small. I'm more athletic, but I don't want to gain weight. So this is also not for, if you're 50, my brother asked me, who's the same age as me, he's like, hey, maybe I could do that. I'm like, no. When you're our age, you do not want to swole 60. That is, yeah, you'll be stronger, but you'll probably never get the weight off. So the idea is you will gain weight for those 2 months, and then we start training to get that off, but still lift, right? So it'll be 2 months of lifting and eating. So you're only in the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You'll be coming Tuesday and Thursday while we teach you some stuff, but then on your off days, you'll do your own rest and recover. And we're going to do a lot of education about food and talking about what you should and shouldn't eat, and how a bag of Starburst does not count towards the swole 60, whereas eating the 69 ouncer and the gristle will count. So there is that. So it's very different. The idea of lifting is the same, but the outcomes we are going for, one is I am sports driven and I'm working on myself to be better in sports. The other, that's 2 of them. The other one, swole 60, is I am a small guy. I want to get big. That is the goal. The goal is not to specifically make you better for sports, although it will because he'll be stronger and bigger. He already has those skills. So if it were up to me to say, if Levi said, what should I do? I can juggle to 3, but I'm also small. What should I do? Well, then in that case, I would say, look, we are going to juggle because it's sport specific. You need to be better. You need to make yourself better in that sport. And we'll do summer strength because we're going to be lifting and you'll be gaining there, and we'll add food. The returns will be lower in terms of your volume, the size that you get, but athletically and sports-wise, it's better for you. The fact that he already can juggle for 15 minutes without stopping, and nobody ever says, wow, Levi, I wish you would pass the ball better. I mean, he's great. 2 touch, it's off. They all say, man, you need to be bigger. You need to lift. You need to, right? And I know that. We can see that. I don't mind looking at my own kids and just telling them, hey, here's your strength, here's your weakness. I like the coaching side of it, no critic. The critic, right, that rides on your shoulder says, you are small, you're always going to be small, you'll never be bigger, you should just quit. That's the critic. The coach says, hey, buddy, yep, you're small, but you'll be growing. That's just how nature and puberty and all that works. So one way you can accelerate that is lift and eat. Let's do that. So the coach, yep, tells you what you did wrong or what's on the wrong side, but then they go to fix that. So those are the 3 programs for the kids. If you're, let me back up and say what it kind of looks like as well. So summer strength typically is high volume. So we've got space for 11 kids or 11 racks to be used. So if you look in the gym, you'll see 11 racks. And we will typically put 3 to 4, maybe sometimes 5 kids on the same rack. So yeah, we share stuff. They're going to touch it. If you are super COVID sensitive, then go back in the hole. Just life is not for you. We're over that. Nobody in our gym has gotten sick. Nobody wears masks. We clean everything just like we always have. We don't do anything different, and everybody is fine. We have not had a single issue. So if you're worried, don't join. That's easy. Go somewhere else. Or buy your own gear and do it from home. That's beautiful. Then you'll only be the one touching it. The reason why we have multiple kids on the same line so they can lift, we usually say it's back squat. We'll sort them out by shoulder height so that the right height, and then they can just adjust the weights as needed. But there's a couple things. One is we want them to be able to watch each other because teaching helps you learn. So we teach them to correct. So later on, they can work in high school and do this on their own. So we want them to learn and see, and we want them to be able to do. So we're creating coaches, small coaches, so they can understand and identify, spot the flaw, and increase the form. The other is we need them to slow down. The kids will get in there and go, what have you done? What have you done? Hey, look, I did a 5x5 in under 5 minutes. Yay! You're like, no, that is not how we do this. So we slow them down. The only effective way we've ever found to slow them down is to literally put roadblocks in front of them. Like, I cannot lift because Timmy is lifting. And if Timmy's lifting, I just got to stand there. And so the great thing is, if he's lifting and I'm watching, great. There's somebody lifting. There's another person spotting, although we teach them to bail, but you don't want to bail on a bench press because that's your throat. So we teach them to spot, and we teach them to coach. So 3 is great, 4 is greater, and 5 is goodest. No, 4 is the right number. So with 11 slots and 4 deep, we can get 44 kids in there. We don't usually go that high, but I think last summer in the midst of COVID, we had 33 kids in there. Now, usually the first week, everybody's there, and then vacation. So it drops to some subset, which is totally fine. Miss a week, that's great. We'll give you some homework, teach you a form, teach you some things to do, make sure you have a foam roller. That's great. Go on vacation. We love it. Come back and do. So if you're going to be gone an entire month, well, yeah, it's probably not for you. Don't sign up. We don't sell it by the month because we don't, really, we don't need to. People will sign up for the 2 months and we want success, so we'll take the 2-monther over the 1-monther. So if you want to come for 1 month, that's on you. Pay for 2 months because we're not reducing the price because we have kids, tons of them, that want to do this. So and it works. So we want to discourage those that we know. It's like in the gym. We discourage people that we know this doesn't work for. So in the CrossFit gym, in our main business, when somebody comes in and says, look, so what I'm looking for is I just need a space to do my own thing. And I'll just use your gear and I'll just take half the gym and I'll do my thing. I'm like, no. Because the way that we can help you become the hero of your own story is through coaching, mentoring, and accountability. And if you're not into those things, we don't really care to help you because we know it won't stick. And we know, you don't fit who we find work well with us, which is, we like to say it's happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now, as well as when we're 90. So happy, humble, helpful. I just want a gym space to do my own thing. You're not helpful, you're not humble, maybe you're happy, I don't know, but you missed 2 of the 3 things that we really like at our gym. Happy, humble, helpful. So that's what we're aiming at. Anyway, so we intentionally drive people away from us that don't fit who we can help because we know what our business is. We're not for everybody, for sure. Like Swole 60. Swole 60 is, Swole 60, because 60 days, right? It is not for the 50-year-old guy that you don't want to get stronger this way. You will gain weight, and that is not something that you should take lightly in your older age. Summer strength for students. It's for students. I know, that's so weird. So everybody else that wants to join, what we do, everyone starts with personal training. It's the best way to teach you the quickest, to help your body, us and you know your body, to make you move correctly so that we can get you into class if that's where you want to go. So Jamie, hey, man, that has been a long time. How is Florida? I think you're down there. Hi. I know I got a couple other, Sarah, Gabrielle, I think it was. I can't see the names, it slid up. But anyway, so that's the idea behind those programs. It is definitely not for everybody. The 2008 Soccer Strength and Power, it is for the girls on my team, Coach Rob and Coach Roberts, select 2008 kids. Oddly, there should be about 45 of them, so I can put every single one of them in this class working together, building bonds, building teamwork, just social stuff, while they work individually on themselves. But they can still be together as a team. And so here's the trick of that. Man, no kid, we've all been kids, no kid wants to go lift on their own while their friends are out, doing whatever they do. So this puts everybody together, it helps them all meet, and should create more energy and fun. So for my girls, we'll do this, and then we'll go eat, and then hopefully some parent will say, yeah, everyone can come to my house, we'll go swimming. It's the summer, go have fun, be a kid, get in the woods. I got a big woods in the backyard. Just watch out for the coyotes. Go out there, make a tree fort thing and watch stuff and go have fun. I don't know. Get them out. So that's the idea behind those 3 programs. Hope that helps. If you guys have more questions, man, call me, text me, email me. Find me on the soccer field. Happy to help. Take care, guys.